When you're a part of an organization and were asked who among your peers is destined for success, more often than not, most of us would turn our heads to people who are outgoing and ultra-charismatic leaders. This is because we are historically accustomed to thinking this way. After all, we have this perception that extroverts are more likely to succeed due to their ability to deal with a situation associated with success, like negotiating, networking, and public speaking. But if you're a part of an organization and paying attentively to your peers, you'll notice that the people who get more things done are not the extroverts, but instead the quiet people often called introverts. If you're curious as to why, well, stick with us until the end to find out. Welcome to Thrivetastic. If you're new here, why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? And as always guys, give this video a thumbs up for that YouTube algorithm. 1. They listen more. Quiet individuals don't say much, so they use their energy listening rather than complaining about why something went wrong or how difficult a particular task is. Quiet people would rather listen to constructive criticism or feedback, and this aspect also makes them reasonably simple to work with. Everyone wants to be seen and heard, and what better way to do so than to listen intently to what others have to say? This is not to say that people who talk a lot aren't good listeners. It simply indicates that quiet people do not enjoy talking and would rather listen to you. This becomes a habit over time, causing them to become attentive listeners, reading body language and picking up on every detail. 2. They are a sponge of information. Introverts get their energy internally, so they need alone time to recharge. That's when most people wonder what are they doing with all the time in their hands. I mean, most introverts don't go to parties or hang out at the bar every Friday night. They don't spend as much time with their friends as extroverts do. While most introverts use their free time to learn, they read books, watch movies or documentaries, learn new software, play games, read articles, watch the news, or do something that makes them feel accomplished. When they do this repeatedly, they gradually become a sponge of information, knowing a little bit about everything, and most importantly, they know how to apply this enormous amount of knowledge to their careers and personal lives, allowing them to achieve even more in the long term. 3. They have a learner's mentality. Being quiet elicits the desire to always learn. I mean, they usually have time on their hands, time that could be spent with friends or at a party. But instead of attending these social events, they would rather stay at home and finish a book or task. This persistent need to learn instills in them a learner's mentality, the conviction that there is always something new to learn from a circumstance, a person, a book, or even an opportunity that does not present itself. Having a learner's mindset makes it easier to become a sponge for information, and once you do, you can use whatever you've learned to make some life-changing improvements for yourself. 4. They take notes, both mental and physical. Every quiet person understands the significance of taking down notes. They never assume that they will recall the idea or inspiration, so rather than risk losing it forever, they write it down. However, it's not only about writing things down. Introverted people are excellent observers. Therefore, taking mental notes is an important component of their daily routine. Have you ever observed that your quiet friend is generally the first to discover something different about you, or is the only one who remembers something particular about you? Such as the fact that you prefer your coffee with more milk than sugar, or that you never drink unless something truly bothers you. Because of their capacity to take mental notes, they make excellent friends and coworkers, making you more willing to share opportunities or desire to collaborate with them. 5. They are great at planning. Again, what do you do with your time when you have plenty of it? Well, you develop meticulous planning. Quiet people are often in their heads, which allows them to assimilate information for as long as necessary. They know how long it will take them to finish a task that they would need to complete and what obstacles may arise along the way. They then create a solid plan around it all. Setting goals and aspirations is an important element of being successful. Even though some successful people thrive on spontaneity, thorough planning allows you to control the situation to a significant extent, enhancing your chances of success. They also take more time to analyze information, which provides them more time to design better strategies for putting their ideas into action. 6. They observe more than they speak. Every quiet person has the ability to observe. These people may be sitting alone in a cafe and observe everyone around them, gaining a better awareness of the environment than anyone else. Surprisingly, great observational skills are highly valued in the business world. You must be able to observe your market, potential clients, and even business partners through observation of their environment. A quiet person is more likely to uncover a regular pattern for success, and they only need to replicate this pattern to become successful. Now, isn't that clever? Of course it is. You cannot refute this greatness. 7. They are creative. If you spend the majority of your time in your thoughts, it's just a matter of time before your imagination improves, and an increased imagination will undoubtedly have an incredible effect on your creativity. Careful observation and planning allow quiet people to perceive challenges from imaginative perspectives. They are more inclined to find creative solutions to problems when they have more time to think about them. Silence and creativity are inextricably linked. It's why authors, painters, and even musicians require a lot of solitary time to be creative. 8. They know their priorities. If you spend half your day in your bedroom with no human contact, you're sure to see things that are significant to you. You were fired. Okay, you already knew that. It's pointless to be depressed about it. Instead, the objective is to figure out why this happened and how to avoid it from happening again. Most of the time, quiet people will value their quiet time over meeting together with friends. Even though this might upset their friends, quiet people consider it a priority that should take precedence over everything else. Furthermore, identifying your priorities and pursuing them usually ensures some level of success in life, because you aren't wasting time on trivial things. Before we go on with our video, do you know someone introverted or a quiet person? Or maybe that someone is you. Well, anyway, whether it's you or someone you know, I would just like to ask you guys if you agree that a quiet person really gets things done more. Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. 9. They are self-aware. Quiet people are frequently able to alter how others see them by being self-aware. They are always concerned with how they appear and sound to others, which often allows them to define their persona to fit specific settings. This also motivates them to strive to become better people. Now, is it unusual to discover a quiet individual in a position where they would feel embarrassed? Not at all. That's because they are so self-aware of their abilities and personality type that they'd never intentionally or knowingly put themselves in a challenging situation unless it was absolutely necessary for their development. 10. They have control over their mind. What are the benefits of engaging with your mind regularly? Well, you build mastery of how your mind works. And if you have the power to govern your mind, you can filter out negative thoughts and enhance your emotional health and also your self-control. Your mind regulates everything that you do, and if you give it the upper hand, it will throw you out of the driver's seat. Importantly, regulating your mind allows you to influence how you react to things, whether favorably or adversely, which can impact the quality of your life. 11. They see obscurity as a chance to improve. Most people, including quiet people, prefer to be seen and praised for their work, but this is not always the case. Quiet people prefer obscurity because it allows them to grow and improve on their terms, whereas being in public allows them to receive feedback and constructive criticism. You'll agree that it puts a certain amount of burden on your shoulders. Quiet people, on the other hand, use obscurity to gain other key abilities such as self-control, mind mastery, and the ability to keep working even when no one is there to praise their small accomplishments. Quiet persons usually are more concerned with the result than with informing the world about the process. You could say they take the saying, confuse them with your silence and shock them with your results, pretty literally. 12. They can quickly acquire the trust of others. They pay attention and listen intently, and they don't have much to say. As previously mentioned, we all enjoy being listened to, and when this happens, it helps us feel secure around the listener, which is an important aspect of developing trust. Here's a question for you. Who are you more likely to trust over 3 months? A friend who speaks every minute, rarely allowing you to say anything? Or a friend who listens and asks the right questions? The latter, am I right? This is because feeling heard is an important component of being human and a recipe for building trust. Also, we all instinctively believe that our secrets are safer with quiet people because, well, they are. 13. They can usually focus better. The need to concentrate has grown even more vital in a world where noise has become a regular part of our lives. In today's world, we can't go a minute without getting distracted by something. A smartphone, a loud horn on the street, a brawl, or even the noise from the television. But quiet people have another superpower: the capacity to stay laser focused when completing a task. They can usually avoid interruptions, which is why they despise interruptions because they interrupt their flow of thought. This increases their productivity and allows them to complete tasks much faster. 14. They are selective about who they make friends with. It's fairly common for a quiet individual not to seek social validation. This is frequently because they are confident in their ability to exist alone and do not consider certain human connections to be important or even fun. Fortunately for them, this makes it simpler for them to leave toxic and unhealthy relationships. It's no secret that quiet individuals don't have many friends. This isn't because they're timid. They're just very selective about who they accept into their inner circle. This meticulous examination increases their chances of developing meaningful and richer relationships, which, who knows, might be just what they need to achieve something successfully. 15. They're intuitive. Did you know that you can hone your instincts? The key to success is continuous reflection. Quiet people spend a lot of time thinking, imagining scenarios, and envisioning events. And while this may appear to be useless, endless pursuits, it allows them to have a deeper comprehension of their ideas, feelings, and emotions. With a greater understanding of these things, we can learn to navigate life more clearly, utilizing our instinct as a mirror for gauging circumstances. It's that little voice, and while it isn't always right, listening to it and sometimes doing what it suggests is a fantastic way to develop your instincts. If you don't take that time to reflect, our thoughts will always be muddled. That was a wild ride, but that's all for today's video. If you're a quiet person, I'm sure this list has shown you many ways to profit from being your quiet nature. But being quiet isn't everything. Extroverted people might incorporate some of these practices into their daily lives as well. Why not, right? And here's a bonus for those sticking with us until the end. Quiet people are good decision makers. Quiet people think deeply and are able to focus. They are perceptive and good observers, and all of these characteristics combine to make them exceptional decision makers. They consider every possible scenario and thoroughly comprehend their environment, which leads to better and more informed decisions. Thank you for watching this Thrivetastic video. So if you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this awesome Thrivetastic video for you to watch next.